Do you want to know more about human trafficking, illegal prostitutions, illegal drugs, weapons, human organs trafficking, and the bad guys who destabilize the world? Then watch this video. Ladies and gentlemen, since 1979, Iran has been under occupation of a criminal terrorist regime which carries the name Islamic Republic and hates both Iran and its people. This regime suppresses, imprisons, tortures, and murders Iranians and silences every voice of opposition, not only in Iran, but worldwide. This regime wants to convert the West to its ideology and kill all those who say no. They are involved in human trafficking, illegal prostitutions, human organs trafficking, drugs, weapons, and all the illegal businesses that you can imagine. They arrest and torture Christians, Baha'is, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, atheists, and even Muslims who are against them, and everyone else who has a different opinion. Of course, except those few who cooperate with them in their propaganda show. They want to destroy Israel. They want to murder all Jews. They support Putin on his attack on Ukraine. They help Maduro and other South American dictatorships to suppress Venezuelan people, Cuban people, and other people in South America. They are nothing than an organized network of criminals. They plunder the wealth of Iranian people to finance terror and spread insecurity in the region and in the world. I address this video in English to all the English language speaking countries and the international community, as I am aware of the strong lobbying that this regime and its allies and associates conduct in your countries. Let me make it clear. This regime does not care about lives of Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, Iraqis, or other countries. I say this because the supporters and sympathizers of this regime always play with such narratives to suppress any criticism towards them, like their ideological proxies and allies who are always juggling with words. This regime does not care about the Iranian people. How could they then care about the people of other countries? In their slogans, their so-called anti-imperialist and anti-Western rhetoric is nothing but a fake game. Their oligarchs and children live comfortably in USA, UK, Canada, Europe, and elsewhere, with their bank accounts safely stored in the West. Their propaganda infiltrate the media, academic and cultural spaces, and even art, spinning a web of lies. They even go so far to create fake opposition groups and promote fake figures, like the Mujahideen, MEK, a Marxist Islamist organization who has the blood of Americans and European diplomats on their hand during the Shah time, who they were killing foreign diplomats and people, and they would say it was the Shah, or the separatists, or so-called reformist groups of the regime who have come to Europe and US and Canada and elsewhere and promotes them. Sometimes they even present themselves as the strongest critics of this regime. They create and promote fake political prisoners, fake activists, and fake artists who are supported by their agents and propagandists in the West. The people in the West have no idea and believe these lies. One of their strongest lobbies in this area operates through their UK, US, and EU network. They have influence over the NGOs, official authorities, and institutions. Together with their associates, allies, and other Islamist extremists and criminals, they discriminate against and harass real Iranian activists who stand for freedom and democracy. Or they follow you everywhere you go to control. This could be a cultural, social, sport, or political institution, a society, a church, school, or other places. They would otherwise never go there if you weren't there. Everywhere you go, they show up. Once they are there, they seek contact to other people and lie about you to scare people. Spreading lies like, oh, he is anti-Islam, he is anti-Arabs, he is anti-this, he is anti-that. And lies like that to just poison the atmosphere against you. If they don't have existing contacts, they create connections through lies or even through money. What is painful is that even the young people believe them or participate in this dirty game. Of course, often the older ones give instructions or orders to younger ones to keep the distance from you because of the economical benefits that they get from these terrorists. This is very unfair because in a neutral situation, you could meet so many people who would be nice and honest to you because you always try to be polite, honest, communicative, and friendly. Their goal is to control you and to not let you possibly meet neutral people who would want to help you because you are saying and defending the truth and freedom for all. I am one of their victims who have been discriminated against for years, but I don't want to talk about myself now. These groups and fake opposition created by the terror regime as well as their supporters in the West do not pose any real threat or danger to this regime. Their goal is to distract public attention from the real opposition, to play and manipulate the terms like minorities and women's rights, and to silence the authentic voices of the Iranian people who demand democracy and freedom. We all know that the Western powers in the January 1979 at the Dark Conference of Guadeloupe supported extreme left-wing Iranians and Islamist extremist groups to bring the lunatic bloodsucker tyrant Khomeini to power. These groups committed acts of terror and killed even innocent women and children, blaming it on the Shah. I have been around and I know how much hatred, obsession, and dogmatic views against the Shah exist among some old extreme leftists, sometimes also among right-wingers or liberals or some pseudo-intellectuals who think they know everything. I don't want to talk about the Shah. He passed away more than 40 years ago. He's no longer here. Leave him at peace. Leave him alone. But unfortunately, many are still fighting against the Shah, while they forget the crimes of these terrorists or real criminals like Qatar, Islamist extremists, or communist dictatorships and their terrible actions. There are many documents about what happened in 1979 in the internet and elsewhere. The truth now is revealed, and we all know it. This strategy to support Islamists and Marxists was not only wrong and harmful, but catastrophic. With the rise of Khomeini's regime, now Khamenei regime, the Middle East and the world fell into chaos and became hostages of terrorists. Today, we know that some of the strongest supporters of this regime continue to operate freely in the USA, UK, and EU, and act and abuse the democracy and spread their networks worldwide. We also know that terrorist groups like Mujahideen, who have the bloods of Westerners on their hands, separatists, reformist groups of the regime, Hamas, Hezbollah, and also extreme wing leftist Iranians who are very anti-Semitic and very anti-Westerns, are unfortunately very active in the West and spread lies and propaganda and insecurity. They have created a network of criminals who are operating against the safety and prosperity of your people, often in ways invisible to you. Together with their allies and sympathizers, they silence every voice that opposes them. If you report something or want to complain, your voice is heard nowhere because they have infiltrated the system. If you continue to seek justice, they attach false labels to you, write bad reports about you, and destroy your life even further because they possess the executive powers of the bureaucracy. And they laugh at you while they are doing this. Meanwhile, they quickly issue all permits for their own sympathizers, allies, and people from their own circle. I am not generalizing and do not say that everyone is bad. But unfortunately, this is the truth. They are everywhere. It is very unfair that we, as a real refugees who fled these terrorists and came to the West, where we expected freedom and democracy, are still held hostages here by these people and their friends and continue to face discriminations and pressure. I repeat, I am not generalizing. There are also good people, and I know some of them. I am not generalizing. These criminals abuse democracy and turn the sanctions, do money laundering, and commit many more crimes, including terror. I and we Iranians urge you and urgently ask you, please stop supporting this madness. Stand by the real Iranian people, the majority who has been held hostages by this regime and believe in real democracy and freedom. During all the years of the uprising of Iranian people against this regime, the Western politicians pursued a policy of ignorance towards us and continued appeasement politic and conciliation with this terrorist regime, or supported fake and false opposition groups. Unfortunately, they always played with the words, take poses, and pretend to be caring about human rights and democracy. We have always said that we have an alternative for democracy in Iran, and we can replace this regime with a secular democracy. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, the leader of Iranian democratic opposition, who is supported by the vast majority of Iranians inside and outside of Iran, is the only hope for real democracy in Iran and a peaceful coexistence with the world. And yes, he is the son of the king, but he is his own man, independent, a very democratic and transparent person. So please stop with the dirty games of accusations. And please stop imposing anything on us. Like, oh no, we tell you what is democracy. This is not democracy. Your democratic choice, if all of you guys, if the majority believe that someone is your democratic leader and you trust him, no, this is not democracy. We will tell you what is democracy. So please stop with this. If you truly believe in democracy, so please respect our democratic decision. After the liberation of Iran, there will be free election. He don't want power for himself. Please stop this. Please support us. Many tell us that you guys, Iranians, support the Europe, defend the West. You support Ukraine, support Israel, support Venezuela, and support anyone under oppression. But those guys mostly ignore you, or they support the fake opposition and the separatists and the fake people. Why do you continue? Well, we would say that the truth will not stand behind the clouds forever, and the light will overcome darkness, so always do good. The people will understand in the end. We stand for a secular democracy, human rights, and freedom. Please stand with us. If you don't want to support us, then at least please stop supporting these terrorists. We don't tell you that you do a regime change for us. No, all we are saying, and our leader said, and we all Iranians are saying, that at least don't empower them anymore. Don't give them money anymore. And what we want, just basic supports like providing internet and stuff like that, so that we can fight this regime. We will do everything ourselves. And of course, we welcome any help, any honest help, and we will remember it forever. In the end, we see everything. We see our friends who are helping us, and we see also those who are helping this terrorist regime. And we will remember everything. Long live freedom, and long live all the free people. Thank you.